Joseph James DeAngelo, later known as the Golden State Killer, terrorized California in the 1970s and 1980s. He committed a series of home invasions, rapes, and murders across multiple counties. His crimes were initially considered separate incidents by police due to lack of connection. The public was unaware that one person was behind them all. His story would remain unsolved for decades. DeAngelo's first known crimes were burglaries in the mid-1970s. He often targeted couples in their homes late at night. His method included tying up the victims and ransacking their homes. Neighbors occasionally reported suspicious activity, but no arrests were made. He showed early signs of meticulous planning and evasion. Soon, the burglaries escalated to sexual assaults. Victims described a masked intruder who would threaten and restrain them. Police nicknamed him the Visalia Ransacker during these early crimes. He became increasingly bold, entering homes without triggering alarms. His early attacks were concentrated around Visalia, California. By the late 1970s, the crimes escalated into serial attacks. He was now committing multiple rapes in a single night, often in different counties. He began leaving taunting notes and sometimes tied his victims in complex positions. Investigators began to suspect a pattern but lacked forensic technology to link the cases. Fear spread across California neighborhoods. Law enforcement gave him a new moniker, the East Area Rapist, AR. His attacks were violent, calculated, and often involved prolonged stalking of victims. He sometimes called his victims from the home phone after assaulting them. Patterns of entry, timing, and behavior helped police connect some crimes. He became infamous in Northern California. AR moved across Sacramento, Placer, and El Dorado counties. Investigators noticed similar methods: masked intruders, tied-up victims, and threats of death. He adapted to avoid leaving obvious fingerprints or witnesses. Communities organized neighborhood watches in response. Police struggled to track his movement across county lines. DeAngelo's methodical nature earned him notoriety. He often parked a block away, surveilled the home, and waited for victims to return. He used handcuffs, ropes, and sometimes made victims undress. He would sometimes spend hours in the home before leaving. His meticulous approach made it difficult to catch him in the act. In the early 1980s, he escalated to murder. He murdered several couples in their homes after sexual assaults. Police connected these killings to AR due to similarities in methods. The media coined him the original Night Stalker, ONS, after the murders. The combination of rape and murder terrified the state. Multiple law enforcement agencies were involved, but communication was limited. The crimes spanned multiple jurisdictions, complicating investigations. Forensic technology was primitive. DNA testing wasn't widely used yet. Investigators relied heavily on eyewitness reports and crime scene analysis. Despite hundreds of interviews, DeAngelo remained elusive. Communities were gripped by fear during the 1970s and 1980s. Homeowners installed locks, alarms, and even guns for protection. Local newspapers often published crime prevention tips. The public began leaving lights on and avoiding certain streets at night. Children were warned not to answer the door for strangers. Police compiled profiles to try to understand his psychology. They theorized he had military or law enforcement training due to his precision. Sketches based on victim descriptions were circulated. He continued to evade capture by changing patterns frequently. The AR/ONS case became one of California's largest manhunts. In the late 1980s, police linked the EAR and ONS through modus operandi. Some crimes were tied through crime scene evidence, victim statements, and timing. Investigators began suspecting a single serial offender across decades. However, DNA technology was still limited and could not conclusively identify him. The case remained unsolved and became a cold case. By the 1990s, DeAngelo had ceased attacks. He lived a quiet life in the suburbs, raising a family and working as a police officer. Investigators had few leads and many cases went cold. The public slowly forgot, though the memory of the terror remained. His ability to blend into society was part of why he remained undetected. In the 2000s, forensic DNA testing advanced significantly. Investigators began re-examining old evidence from crime scenes. They were able to link multiple rapes and murders through DNA profiles. This provided the first scientific connection between crimes decades apart. The case gained renewed attention from both police and media. Law enforcement turned to genetic genealogy to identify the suspect. Investigators uploaded crime scene DNA to public genealogy databases. By building family trees and analyzing genetic matches, they narrowed down potential suspects. This innovative approach eventually led to Joseph James DeAngelo. The technique marked a turning point in cold case investigations. In April 2018, Joseph James DeAngelo was arrested at his home in Citrus Heights, California. He was taken into custody without incident. Law enforcement confirmed his identity using DNA and corroborating evidence. The arrest brought closure to decades of terror. The public and victims were both shocked and relieved. DeAngelo was charged with 13 counts of murder and more than 50 sexual assaults. Additional burglary and home invasion charges were included. His crimes spanned across multiple counties in California. The charges reflected the full scope of his decades-long crimes. He faced multiple life sentences without parole. In 2020, DeAngelo pled guilty to avoid the death penalty. Victims and families shared statements detailing their suffering. He admitted guilt in a court proceeding that lasted several weeks. Psychological analyses painted him as a calculated predator. His plea allowed survivors to hear acknowledgement of his crimes. DeAngelo was sentenced to life imprisonment without parole in 2021. He would spend the remainder of his life in a high-security facility. Victims expressed relief and closure after decades of uncertainty. The sentencing underscored the power of modern forensic techniques. It was a landmark moment in criminal justice history. The Golden State Killer case changed investigative methods forever. Genetic genealogy became a new tool for solving cold cases. Law enforcement and the public learned the importance of persistence and technology. DeAngelo's crimes serve as a grim reminder of human evil. His arrest and conviction brought justice to many long-suffering victims.